hey guys, I would like to introduce you to Pierre Beaupère. So our background in between the both of us is we met about 2 years ago. So Pierre Beaupère he created a platform, I think already about 5 years ago, which is named the Evolution Project. And with this project, he's actually traveling around the world, trying to combine the insights he gathered from all the different kind of horsemen. So that's the way how we met. So he came to my place. He's spending time with us for about 2 or 3 days, just for filming. But during those 2 years, it was a very big change for both of us. As you can see, and people who follow the program and my Facebook page, they know that in the meanwhile I stopped working with horses in a professional way. Also for him it's a big change. He also moved from Belgium to France. He's also working on a lot of different kind of projects. He came to my place now about, a couple of days ago. And it was really an interesting conversation because when you speak to Pierre, he also has the capability to speak about much more. He thinks in a lot of ways kind of the same way that I do. It's not just horse related, but it's also just about making a combination in between the life lessons he learned and adjusting this to the horses. The interview is about 1 hour 20 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes. But if the light wouldn't have stopped us because it was getting kind of dark, I think we can really go for many hours. So it was very interesting. I think you guys will really enjoy it as well. So these are just the highlights. If you want to see the full interview, then you just have to subscribe to our Discovery program, because that's going to be the only place where you can see the full interview. So just enjoy, and see you guys there. I think we can both agree that if you want to have a good connection with the horses, that you need to be in the present moment. You need to have a calm state of mind. And is there some kind of exercise you do to get on that kind of point, or is it more like, that's something the horses taught me, or is it the opposite way around?
I would, as I usually do, I usually take a different path than the one that is in front of me. I like to do that. I agree with you that we need to be in the present moment to have something with us. But I don't try so much anymore to be in it. Mm-hmm. And my ritual about that is that I repeat myself that if I'm not, that's okay. Mm-hmm. I've learned to accept, to be in the present moment. I've learned to accept that that it's so difficult, and that I'm not made for that. Otherwise I wouldn't be a human being. Mm-hmm. I know that my mind is going to rush. I know that I'm going to project a lot of things from the past, from the future, my fears, I've been working on them, but there will always be some of my fears that will be there. What if I don't get to where I want to with my horse? And the past, those people, they told me that I was never going to be able to. And that I bring, and it's part of me. And because I accept that it's part of me not being in the present moment, I think it helps me be in it.
Why do you think people, they have a lot of goals, they have a lot of dreams, but what's, in your opinion, the thing that's holding them back?
That's a big question. First of all, to keep going in the direction we were, I would say what I call healthy selfishness. Mm-hmm. We are not taught in our society to be selfish in a healthy way. Mm-hmm. We see selfishness like something, that's really bad. I shouldn't be selfish. I should help people. But the thing is that when you, like you do and like I do, when you help people, you realize very, very quickly, and in the beginning, very often you burn out completely, to realize that you cannot help if you don't take care of yourself first. So that's, in my opinion, that's the first thing, is that do I allow myself to think about myself and to do things for me, for my own interest? A lot of people have dreams, but if they keep thinking that they are not allowed to have that dream life for one reason or another, it can be the parents, can be the friends that are really struggling. So why would I be happy when I see my friends that are struggling? Mm-hmm. I'm not allowed to do that. All those values that we put in society, in my opinion, some of them are completely off tracks and are really keeping people down instead of helping them to rise. That's one thing. And the second thing, in my opinion, is our relationship with emotions. It's related with what I was saying. We tend to think that negative emotions are something that we shouldn't have. And in my opinion, the first thing we should do when we have a dream like that is to dig in ourselves to get those fears, those bad experiences, those beliefs, those limiting beliefs particularly, and start with that. And it's not, that's why people usually don't go and don't really move toward their dreams, because the first step is really the worst. It's really when you get all the mud on you, you know, your belief, your past, all the things that are holding you back. But as long as they are holding you back, how can you move? It's impossible. You carry so many things that are not even from you. It's from your parents most of the time. Your parents put on you a lot of things, and then you have to try to move with all that weight on your shoulder. And so take that weight away, and you can start to move. Many people, they know what their dream is. But as soon as they talk about their dream, they start to talk about why they cannot get it. And that's the belief, and that's the past, and that's all the things that are holding them back. Much more than the circumstances like money or time or things like that. That's very, very secondary in my opinion.
And what's like the most valuable life lesson that the horse taught you?
Wow, that's a big one.
Right, because that's actually also a little bit the thing, because now sometimes I speak a little bit more, like, you know, I did the interviews with the other people working in horses, and so also in this kind of way I start understanding a little bit more the vision about other people.
Yeah.
Because I also never follow lessons and stuff, which is in a way a very good thing, but it's sometimes also a bit maybe more difficult.
Yeah.
So now I realize that when I work with horses, there's a really strong connection in between what I'm doing in life and what I'm doing with the horses.
Yeah. That's
now I
true.
see with some people, they actually don't see things in the same kind of way.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, that's why
So first of all, to answer what you were saying, because it's super interesting, is that's what really changed for me. I was also, I've been resisting from those life lessons from horses. You know, I always believed in it, but I think I wasn't ready at one point. And so it's very tempting to go in the technique, you know, and you can get super, do incredible things with only technique. The thing, in my opinion, at one point you realize that, okay, what's the point? You know, why would I bother that poor horse to do something just to show that I can do it? There is no sense in that. And so after a while, I really felt that need to put some meaning in what I was doing with horses. And that's again, that's very frightening, that's very hard, that's very uncomfortable. I've been really through hell because of that. I'm so happy that I did, but I understand that many people stay in the technique because it's more comfortable. You know, you can rely on a book telling you to do that, and then that, and then that, and then that, and you will have that result. And in the meantime, the horse will feel like a puppet, and you lose all the point about being with the horse. When you ask people, and after that I will respond to the original question, but it's, in my opinion, it's very important. When you ask a lot of people why they went to horses, and you can do that to many things, it comes back to the why. Why were you with horses in the beginning? Really the fundamental. They were trying to connect with that animal. And because it was so difficult, because the horse teach you a lot of things that are uncomfortable and teach you not always in the nicest way possible, then we go we find a refuge, in the technique. But that's not what we wanted in the beginning. And so that's why, in my opinion, why so many people with horses, and we can apply that to the couple. It's exactly the same between when you are married. It's exactly the same. We get into things that are comfortable because we are scared, but they don't give us what we were really looking for. So that's and we can talk more if you want. So now your answer, what was the biggest lesson? I think it was that kind of lesson, but really the biggest one was to be true and to stop wearing a mask. To learn, horses have taught me that they are never wearing a mask. They are fully themselves. They completely accept that, and they show that. And they show us that we don't do that. And most of the time, because we put we have to, we should, we shouldn't, I shouldn't show that, I shouldn't be angry when I'm with my horse. That's classical. Every rider will tell you that. Why is that? I mean, when you do that, you block the connection because you are not true. I prefer to go to my horse, look at him in his eyes and say, okay, today I'm super angry. I'm really sorry, I'm super angry. Let's take a moment to try to get that better, you know? And if he wants to leave, it's okay. And to accept that when he leaves me, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love me. It doesn't mean that someone cannot love me. It doesn't mean I shouldn't love myself. It just means that at that moment, he has something better to do than being with me. But to accept that is such a huge, and that you were talking about life and life lesson. Wow, that's a super big life lesson, because that makes you come back to, am I lovable? You know, should I love me? Am I forgiving myself for being angry? You know, all those things, they just show you the mirror. And there is a proverb from Arabia saying your horse is your mirror. And I think your horse holds the mirror. So you can look at yourself when you look at him.
It's true.
So that's the lot of different
it's a nice
approach.
But I even think, in my experience, if you're really, like I say, if you're, like you said, you have a bad day and you just accept it having a bad day, and you still go to the horses often, the horses will even still come to help you out of the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it's kind of normal, I think, if you go and you just want to hide something, it's just not being honest. So
yeah, exactly.
why would they stay with a person that's not even honest?
Exactly. It's great what we have been doing with meditation and things like that. I buy it, no problem, it's fantastic. The only problem is that I think we should also tell people that it's okay to have a past and it's okay to want to have something in the future. Because the description of the present moment, it might not be super accurate. It's only my opinion about that. But it kind of, for many people, looks like, oh, you shouldn't have goals. You should forget your past and just be there. And that's something that is so, I mean, yeah, you can achieve it, but it asks a lot of time, a lot of training. And what I see is, and I've been doing that so I can rely, is a lot of resistance because of that. Is I shouldn't be thinking about the past, and I'm thinking about the past, so I have a problem. And if you can accept that and say, okay, I'm thinking about the past right now, but that's also being in the present moment, is that so instead of saying we should be in the present moment, I like to bring people back to their body and to their feelings, to their emotion. What are you feeling right now? Have you tried to ask people that? Most of the people, they are unable to tell you how they really feel. And in English, a friend of me who is coach is really great about that. He says, people say, I feel like I'm mad. Why don't you say that you feel mad? You know, there is this distance again between you and your emotion that is kind of dangerous. And I think being in the present moment, how do I feel now? Oh, I think about the past. Oh, I feel that it's kind of make me angry. Okay, that's okay. That's okay to feel that, because when I do that, I'm in the present moment.
I think also in that way you put a lot of pressure away from yourself.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like you already said before, it's like constantly in your own state of mind, like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, and because of being in that kind of way, it's just impossible.
Yeah.
It's also, you see often in the clinics, if you see you see people walking, you know, if you want to make a connection, and you can just feel and see them thinking, I have to be calm.
Yeah.
I have to be calm.
Yeah.
I have to.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're never gonna be calm if you're.
Yeah.
But it's a difficult one too.
Have and should are words that we shouldn't almost never say to ourselves, in my opinion. I have to, I shouldn't do that, I should do that, it should go like that. Every time we start with those words, we are in a shitty state of mind, and it's going nowhere, because there is no room for improvement, for change, for evolution. And I think that's very dangerous. And exactly that thing that I should be calm. No, you are not calm. Just, okay, why? Ask yourself why. What can you do to get a little bit calmer? Take your time. It's okay. Everything is good. And there you feel people getting calmer because you tell them it's okay to be to not be calm. That's the funny thing, is that it's acceptance. Instead of trying to be perfect, accept that you are not, and perfection is in the acceptance that you are not perfect. And that's the beauty of it, in my opinion.
I think often people try to copy something of someone else, or they think there is one line we have to follow, and that's gonna get us to the point. The thing is, that's not even true. Everybody is unique. Yeah. The thing is, you have to find your personality, find your own way, and probably almost 100% we're gonna reach to the same point. Yeah. But you have to find your way how to get there. Yeah. And that's a difficult one, because you need to have the confidence. That's what we spoke about before. You need to have the confidence to trust in your own intuition. It's a whole.
But again, in my opinion, that's the beauty of it. The same way is that it's that moment that you realize that the technique is a very small part. We put a lot of emphasis on the technique. Technique should be like 10%. This is important technique, that's for sure, no matter what you do. But after that, in my opinion, a snowboarder can, if he is really with his soul and everything, he can teach you about life as much as anybody else, you know? And we should learn, maybe to help people in your platform, not to copy, but to listen. Listen to what how they approach what they do. And there you can listen to all the people that are in the direction you want to go. You don't need to find, if you want to ride horse, you don't need to find the best rider in the world. You can find the snowboarder that will teach you more about horse riding than many seemingly very good rider, in my opinion.
I think we can go for
all night long. But you need lights.
Yeah, I think that the lighting is getting a bit less, so I think we have to end the conversation. Is there still something else, a small thing you want to add to or do you think we can maybe
I think
leave
we
it
covered already a lot. I want to thank you for inviting me and for the conversation. It was a great conversation.
I also enjoyed it.
And I think you were the proof by doing that you're trying to make the world a better place, and that's the best expression of what we have been saying, to just making that concrete and not just talk about that by yourself without cameras. So thank you for that.
Thank you as well. I really enjoyed it.
Good. Let's do again another time then.
Yeah. Thanks.